Season 2, Episode 2 of Arknights, Perish in Frost, Fuyukomori Kaerimichi, or even Touin Kiro, whatever epithet you prefer. Where do I even begin about last time? 'Cause holy shit, y'all weren't kidding. Y'all weren't lying. It was pure hype, pure enjoyment, pure entertainment, pure cinema. And I ain't ready for whatever's gonna happen next. Frost Nova's arrived. That entrance scene is a top 5 moment from the entirety of Arknights anime thus far. It's on par with Tallulah's entrance from Season 1. And if y'all know me, if y'all have seen my content before, y'all should know how much importance I just put on that scene. How significant it is to me as an anime only. It was peak. It was pure cinema. It was ice cold. And all other sorts of ice puns I could make. I'm sure they'll come naturally as I react. I am just that chill. With that said, I do have a couple things I want to mention from episode 1. The atmosphere was incredibly well done. It gave me goosebumps. It gave me chills. The voice acting was on point. Mephisto's demented laugh, W's taunting with Mephisto, Frost Nova's OST also that kicked in, and the ASMR from Mephisto that accompanied the last several seconds of that scene. It all was downright incredible. I could gush, I could gush, I could gush. However, I was made aware about a couple details that need to be mentioned from episode 1. It's not Yetis. That is a localization. That is a translation by those who provided the English translation. It's actually Frost Devils. That is what she is, a Frost Devil. The Princess of the Frost Devils. Which, on rewatch, I'll admit, it does sound much more like Frost Devil, so I'll give you that. I wish Yetis did exist in this world, though. It wouldn't even be all that surprising, considering the sheer amount of mythical and fantastical races that make up the world of Terra. And on the other note, I want to mention anime censorship. I was made aware about what went down during episode 1. While Mephisto was laughing, the reunion symbol was burning into the side of the building. I might provide a comparison between the anime and the in-game artwork that was sent to me to show, but it is way, way, way more apparent that there were corpses. There was hands, there was body parts. It was way more graphic in the mobile game art, which is also just immaculate. I love the art style, but that's neither here nor there. It's unfortunate we get censorship, but Yostar does have Chinese connections, and the Chinese government, the CCP, doesn't exactly like blood, doesn't exactly like mutilation, doesn't exactly like a lot of ecchi content either, so they censor it. It's very infamous in the anime community, changing red blood to white blood and making scenes way more explicit than they ever intended to be. I hate when censorship happens. It's unfortunate, but I'll live with it. I want to enjoy the story, and I won't let missteps like this affect my overall viewing experience. I'll do my best to catch whenever they're being coy, whenever they're alluding to something horrific but can't explicitly show it due to those regulations, due to those restrictions. In a perfect world, we would have a very brutal, very graphic Arknights anime adaptation with impeccable artwork, impeccable animation, fluid character movements, no time constraints, more than 8 episodes per season, allowing it to breathe even more. But, unfortunately, that doesn't exist. The perfect world will never happen. So we have to take some compromises, we have to take some losses, and even with all of that, everything I've seen so far, these past 9 episodes for the Arknights animation, has been downright incredible. I've fallen deeply deeply in love with this show as an anime only. It's incredible. So when it comes to notes, I did also add in 4.5 more pages of notes after rewatching episode 1. So our grand total is 51. I don't think we'll hit 100 by the time I'm done with season 2, but crazier shit has happened with this show alone. You already know my passion, my determination when it comes to making myself as enjoyable as possible as an anime-only watcher for Arknights. So new people and old fans can enjoy my content and see how I traverse the crazy, graphic, insane... I guess that works. It's kind of a double negative. The wild ride that is Arknights. So when it comes to notes, we do have the whole Ursus conspiracy. Was it an inside job? Was the abandoned nomadic city truly written off? Whatever happens there, no government involvement. Was it a planned relocation to that exact spot? Was it pure coincidence, and so on? Amiya's depression, which, by the way, the rain and the storm from last time was peak. It was a great way to represent everyone's moods. It made it real somber. It made it real depressing as they were fighting their own inner demons and hesitations. Then we had Calcet's request to monitor Amiya's rings, notify her of any changes. It's important to her health, but we don't know exactly why. We had the doll promise reminder with Misha because of the slum kids, giving a lucky charm to Misha's killer, Ched, who's feeling conflicted. Amiya's realization that they should have fought. Misha, that it's going to be their biggest regret. They should have fought to save her. Exia, Franca, Texas, Liskarm exited for now. Our allies are dwindling. Our enemies are growing. We've made mention of Patriot and Old Timer, or Patriot, however it's pronounced. An old timer who Mephisto was apparently afraid of, and he's making moves. It's his turn up next, according to W. I made mention of this prior already, but the ghost town feel of this nomadic city was incredible. The trap warning from Frostleaf, which Frostleaf might actually have risen the ranks very, very quickly with her introduction in episode 1 alone. I love the design. I love the VA. I love the weapon, the halberd. I dig her. Plus, she's a Volpo. Who doesn't like Fox Girls? And of course, we also had Jessica, the avoid direct confrontation advice from Calcet, who then immediately opened fire. Oh yeah, then we had a surprise entrance from Tallulah, which created a weird scene with Chen, which implied a history between those two. Were they sisters? How did genetics work? What is Tallulah's history with Lungman? What does Chief Wei know about her that he's not actually telling us or telling Rhodes Island? Was the second condition of Rhodes Island's contract with Lungman? Was that Tallulah real or was it an illusion? We can't call for backup at the moment. Comms do not work here. It's so cold. We have frostbite, which was denoted by the pinker skin and everything. And devices are freezing solid. So it's essentially a trap. We got a very limited amount of operators right now. And our enemies are gathering. Our enemies are creating a stronghold here and have drawn our main operators, our main crew, our main cast into a trap. They willingly walked into it to save their allies. They will never abandon their allies. That is Amiya's motto, after all. That is the motto of Rhodes Island. But I don't see how this is going to turn out well. Because Frost Nova's sheer ability with Frost Arts, freezing all of the fire, covering the buildings, the snowfall, the fact that we have frostbite occurring, it's a big threat. We don't even know her limit either. And then, of course, yeah, the ice and the fire animations were peak. It was animated so well. And Jessica is absolutely traumatized and terrified. Ami has gotten stronger. You'll pay for what you're done with her confrontation with Mephisto. And then, yep, the entrance of Frost Nova. Frost Devil instead of Yeti. I'll probably make a mistake here or there. Cut me some slack. And as one other note before we hop into it, I will be reacting to the full versions of opening and ending, and very likely for Season 1's opening and endings, because I never watched the full versions to my knowledge. I don't know when they'll make it to YouTube, but they will eventually. So keep an eye out for them. It's hard to deal with copyright. I need the support. It's been crazy already enough how much support my Season 2 Episode 1's been getting, considering it was an hour and a half of pure footage that got edited down with extreme amounts of effort. So I appreciate all your comments, all your likes, all your subscriptions, all your engagement, all your views. Every bit makes a difference. With that said, when you're done leaving a like, a comment, a subscription, hit that bell to be notified when I upload next, because YouTube rarely does its job right. If you want the full version, it'll be over on my Patreon, which is linked down below, amidst my several social media platforms. Follow me on them. Y'all know the drill. Help me grow my communities. It does make a difference in the longevity of my content creation. Now, enough talk. The Arknights itch is burning. The urge is insatiable. I cannot wait to see what we're gonna get, even if I ain't ready. Shit's gonna hit the fan, and with how y'all have been talking about Episode 2, I know it'll be a pure treat, a pure delight, a pure batshit crazy sight to behold. In 3, 2, 1. The Yeti Squadron, the Frost Devil Squadron. I forgot to mention how sick they look. They look like Eskimos. So this was a lot of the wealthiest. These are Chernobog survivors, because it's separated from the core city plate. On the day of the catastrophe, they cut the link to the nomadic city and ran away as fast as they could. So it actually might not have been a true inside job. They were fleeing because they wanted to protect themselves and their wealth. Oh, so you're judge, jury, and executioner? Oh, and this is pissing off Frostleaf. That anger, though. But, yeah, a symbol of terror. Definitely enough to make Frostleaf very angry. Mephisto certainly does have a very punchable face, as a lot of people have mentioned. But I love him. He is absolutely demented. A madman. A delight to behold, because his VA nails it. And Yostar nails it when it comes to the facial expressions. Pair those together, and it is just insane to watch. Don't stop my heartache, don't stop my heartbreak. I really want to meet you. Oh my god! I'm sorry, we're going back. So, this scene, I love it because we have the cinematic black bars, which already makes it very movie-esque. It provides a widescreen effect. But then when we do these widescreen shots, oh my god, it's just right up my fucking alley. There's been a lot of incredible artwork in Arknights, Season 1, and even with Season 2, Episode 1. There's been several moments where I was blown away by the sheer beauty. The artists, the production staff truly cook when it comes to a lot of the landscape shots. And this is actually insane. We're stuck between a rock and a hard place. We have enemies in front of us, enemies behind us. The Yeti Squadron and the Mephisto Squad. The Mephisto Squad is basically him and his art, but we also don't know where Faust is, because Mephisto and Faust seem to operate together. Will Faust show up, or is he actually on a different mission? But that's neither here nor there. The placement of the Yeti Squad and Frost Nova with the frost and the snowflake on the ground, very indicative of her frost art. The way it comes from her. Oh my god! This actually might become a background for me. It is just beautiful. And it really kind of shows her power, her scale. She's able to affect the weather to this degree, but I wonder how her allies are holding up. But she is the Nightmare of the Northwest Tundra. Which, actually... Hold up. Some countries... Wait a minute. What if she's from Sami? Not much is known about it. It's far north. Landscapes of ice fields, dark forests. They have snow priests who can stop snowstorms by singing. They seem to be talking directly with the snow. It's Finland, Scandinavia inspired. A lot of this information comes from Quasar MLG's The Lore of Arknights, which I reacted to over a year ago. But she could also be from Kjerag, Kjerag, the Nation of Ice. It's very isolated, goods hard to come by, modern day technology slowly spreading throughout. Many hunters in the mountains, completely isolated. Nepal, Scandinavia, Himalayan inspired. Sort of all of those regions. If I had to guess, she might be from Sami, but it would make sense. Kjerag, the Nation of Ice, given her powers with frost and ice. But based on the opening song, where she opens up her mouth while she has all of those spears, stones, ammo prepped up in the air around her, it implies she might be talking with her arts, or maybe talking with the frost. So, can she actually manipulate the weather like that? It's very indicative of the Snow Priest. So, is she a Snow Priest? Yeah, Frostleaf ain't exactly calm right now. But Mephisto will use that to his advantage. When an ally, or when someone is consumed by anger, they will make a lot of mistakes. And Mephisto definitely plays that up. He uses it to his advantage, because it's a lot easier to take advantage of someone who is consumed by blind rage, because sometimes they don't rely on the techniques they have, or what truly makes them strong. They'll just charge single-handedly. It's not very often people can act calmly while burning with anger. There is a balance that can be struck, but I don't know enough about Frostleaf if she's talented or experienced enough to control her anger and let it fuel her fight, let it fuel her actions without consuming and blinding her. Oh, it's a good thing Ami is there right now. Yeah, it's what he wants. He's a shit talker. Oh my god, the fog, the mist coming off of her. Oh god, the anger. Does she actually take issue with his methods? Maybe she's not fully slaughter them all kind of mentality. Oh, her barrier! Oh my god, that is clever! She can use it as a distraction and protection. It's very interesting that Frost Nova didn't freeze them solid or attack immediately. I wonder if there's like a drawback or a limit to her frost arts. Yeah, you gotta calm her down. She's timid by nature, but traumatized and terrified right now. Can she empathize through her arts? What am I watching? This is very cool. Are her rings changing with this, or is this something she could technically do? Or is this in response to her empathizing with her? Was she actually taking the emotions from her? I love Mephisto's staff, but I gotta wonder, is that a real skull, or... I wonder if it's from Lithianen. Or Lithania. I wouldn't call Mephisto and W child's play, but both are threats to deal with. But Frost Nova is on another level, on the level of Tallulah. Soon we're gonna hit a point where it's gonna be very hard to act, because the Doctor is very frail. If it gets any colder, it could affect his health. And I don't believe we have any fire users right now. But the cold will dull their senses, dull their movements. And I got a feeling this is a trap. I got a bad feeling. It's way too open. No way it's gonna be this easy. Yeah. This is very reminiscent of Chernobog with Tallulah. Except it's frost, it's ice. And I saw that scene in one of the trailers. Don't tell me she's gonna cut off her foot. Was that like Electro? The way it like buzzed. It was animated really well. I love how they're handling the ice animation. Where is she observing them from? Which side of the street? Or is she on top of a building? But they're blocked in. What is this OST? And yep, she'll give him a merciless death. This is from teaser 1. And we've already hit the halfway point. What the fuck? Oh, is Calcic gonna realize something's wrong and send in new backup? New characters, old characters? Or is she gonna be the backup? Oh no! The music box! Oh no! No time wasted. No time to collect yourselves and plan. She's not even talking. It's coming like first nature. How do we fight this? If her attacks are freezing your weapon solid. I was partially kidding when I said she's on the level of Tallulah. Does Frostleaf have a personal history with her? No. Frostbite. She is slowing down. Alright, that was fucking cool. She feels a bit honorable to an extent. I mean, she froze to death people who were begging for their life. Well, she's making noise, so she's not dead. But she's being consumed by the frost. Is Amiya gonna break a ring? How powerful will this attack be? This is a way more controlled version of what happened with Skull Shatterer. Holy shit. A brave, proud sentiment, but I don't know if we're going to accomplish that. It's hot. Can they not handle heat? She is singing. A snow priest. This is gonna boost her arts or something. And this is what I think we see her doing the ED. Chills. Goosebumps. Arts. Incantation. Ayahi Takagaki. Holy shit. Run. Holy shit. It's like the power went up 100-fold. Instead of silent casting, it's chant casting right now. And the power is incredible. I'm genuinely speechless. I was not expecting her to sing. I'm right about her being a snow priest. How do we deal with this? It's getting from bad to worse to even worse. I love the way her arts look. Amiya will protect everyone, even at the cost of her own life. The weight of a leader is a heavy burden. And she's just still singing, still recharging, seemingly with infinite energy. How strong is her auropathy if she's infected? But most of the reunion are. And auropathy can fuel their arts. Was she like a special case? What are you doing, Frostleaf? I love, like, the white flame. Come on, Jessica! I love you! Good girl! But it feels like it's too heroic right now. It's going too well in our favor. That's absorbing the heat in our surroundings. The culprit of kind of cold. So the Origin inspired. She is making use of to drop the temperature and fuel her arts, fuel her cold currents. By breaking that, it's gonna lower her power, make her less of a threat. That's the Doctor intuition. Did we hit a limit? Nason. So they think of her as a sister. Do they have like a real family kind of vibe with the Yeti squad? I feel like that line might be a death flag. The armor? Patriot? The old timer? Or is it someone else? A fan thing? Can he not breathe normally? And his speech is a bit weird. So maybe he has like a speech impediment. Or oropathy of the lungs. But he's also an old-timer. What is this armor, though? He has a tank on him, so it's like an oxygen tank, perhaps. Or maybe it fuels his arts. But he also seems to have, like, this shield that could maybe turn into a great sword, or a great axe, or even a gun. And then he has, like, this spear, halberd, not a trident, maybe a bident. What is this dude? Who is this dude? And why is he so cool? It seems they're on amicable terms. She's even smiling. So is he like... I was about to say a father figure to her. Is he an actual father? Or an adoptive father? Dude, it is so cool! Tallulah's making a move. It is a two-prong operation. Distract one side of the enemies, draw them everywhere else, draw them all elsewhere. And then they can attack Lungmen since there's a lot less protecting them right now. Are we actually going to see Tallulah fight proper? But this rotten city to ash, it does imply there's more history with it. What is going on? I'm slowly breaking it down a little bit in terms of processing. A lot is happening. Today's not your day to die. We don't do heroic sacrifices, heroic last stands here. Unless you're Ace. And then you're an absolute badass who earns the respect of Frost Nova, Tallulah, Mephisto, a true warrior. But if they're actually implying she's a kid, it would make sense she's a bit more rash like that. She wants to protect everyone. And this is going to be from, I think, the main trailer, where we can't provide backup or we can't rendezvous because they're going to be taking care of what's going on in Lungmen. What an expression on her face. Oh, yeah, Tallulah's made a move. Fell right into their trap. Peril, episode 10. No shot it's over. Who am I kidding? Even if I hope for it, it's very unlikely Yostar, Hypergriff, Arknights in general would provide us with an after-credit scene. Not a preview, but a full-on scene saved for after the ending song. A bone thrown to us, so to say. I said it during the ED, I'll say it again. Fuck. I was not prepared for it to end. I'm sure I mentioned that last time. Why did it have to end? How could it end? Where did the time go? And whatnot. Imagine that sentiment, but amplified by at least 50%, if not 100%. Extra oomph, extra emphasis on those feelings. Y'all weren't kidding. I saw a lot of y'all mention episode 2, ask me if I've seen episode 2, hype up episode 2, 1/4 of the way through season 2. And it was even better than episode 1, the premiere. If that was a 9.5, because I struggled to say it was a 10 out of 10, a true masterpiece, this might genuinely be a 9.9, if not 10 out of 10. When it comes to the song, when it comes to the entire confrontation with Frost Nova, now that deserves peak cinema, praise beyond belief, masterpiece. It was, in all honesty, one of the best scenes I have seen from Arknights. All 10 episodes now. It is a top 5 moment. It might actually be my favorite scene. It says a lot when you can beat out Tallulah with that entrance in season 1, because it was damn notable. It was damn hype and crazy. It was mind-blowing. But I am at a genuine loss for words. It has left me speechless. It has left me in pure awe. From the overall presentation, the cinematography, the artwork, the animation, the OST, the song by Ayahi Takagaki as Frost Nova, the atmosphere, everything culminated into something genuinely incredible. I'm not kidding. I can't lie. Episode 2 was better than episode 1. And I love episode 1 immensely. It did everything right. We dealt with depression. We started the story again without unnecessary recap and flashback. We caught a bit back up to speed and continued immediately, essentially. We dealt with Amiya's inner demons, her depression, Chen's depression, the doll promise. And then we continued with the trap, the ghost town vibes, the atmosphere, the anxiety, Tallulah's surprise entrance, the interesting connections, or implications rather, with Chen and Chief Wei and Lungmen. The entrance of Tallulah was peak. It was genuinely one of the best entrances of an anime character that I've ever seen. And I've watched over 600 anime, maybe even 650 or 700 by now. I've lost count. Tallulah's was on par with that. But this episode was better, was greater, was mind-bogglingly fantastic, phenomenal. I've run out of gush and praise. My vocabulary took a dive. I might be repeating myself and overreacting, but I can't overstate it, or rather understate it, enough. Episode 2 felt shorter than episode 1. By the time we got halfway through and saw the title card, or rather the mid card, I was already a bit disappointed that like 10 or 12 minutes elapsed so quickly. And then when the ending song kicked in, with Chen reaching them, with communications being restored, and then going, change of plans. We won't be meeting up. We won't be rendezvousing. Lungmen is in danger, and ending on that widescreen landscape shot of Lungmen on fire, under siege, under attack by other pockets of the reunion. Tallulah? Yo, it did not feel like 20-ish minutes of anime. Did I slip into a time slip or something? Because there's no way it went by that fast. Ain't no way we're already done with episode 2. Very apt episode title, Peril. The pseudo last stand from Frostleaf was downright incredible. Seeing Amiya use more of her arts or show off more of her strength, her true capabilities, was downright incredible. It was more controlled than when she lost control back in season 1, episode 7, and killed Skull Shatterer. Is this the limits of her strength, the true extent, or is there more we have yet to see? The way she also used her arts, her abilities, seemingly to calm down Jessica and perhaps even take away some of her negative emotions so she can think much more clearly, so she can actually calm down, compose herself, and be less of a burden. As again, I say she's a burden, but we all know that's not truly the case. It's just she's an issue, a risk. If she full-on panics and drags him down in the heat of the battle, she needs to be able to think much more clearly. Which she did. Jessica turned up. Jessica helped out. She's not dead weight. And I'll stress that again. She is not dead weight. I'm sure some anime-onlys might take issue with her. Some people don't like the timid characters. Some people take issue with people who are afraid to act, that don't have the confidence to not hesitate, to take immediate action, and fix all of their issues. But Jessica definitely feels more human. It's nice that we're not full of everyone is courageous, everyone is brave, everyone never hesitates and stuff like that. No, we have actual human characters with true personalities. They're not just 2D, they feel 3D, they feel multifaceted, because even with all of her fear, Jessica wants to live up to the expectations, and she took action. She helped bring about a resolution to that confrontation. She attacked. She fought. She didn't just end up a burden or anything like that. No, she actively took part, as afraid as she was. And that takes some serious courage. Or if she was a guy, I would say some serious balls. Especially in the face of someone like Frost Nova, who wields immensely powerful arts. Am I right in assuming she's from Sami and that she's a snow priest? Or did I misread the situation? Do I actually want answers? No. 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 Unless they're not truly going to mention it in the anime and I've managed to figure it out. But I'd prefer not to be spoiled if it's going to be brought up, if it'll actually be a plot point. And that goes with all of my questions. Sometimes I just want to talk. Sometimes I want to spitball ideas and theories. I don't necessarily want the answers provided to me. I'd rather figure it out on my own as much as possible. Obviously, there will come a time where I've hit a wall, hit a limit, and I can't actually reach that conclusion or that answer without extra help from mobile game players. In which case, I do always appreciate it. Every comment helps. Every engagement, every discussion truly does make a difference. It's been getting wild in the Discord. The Arknights hive mind has been growing immensely influential in my Discord. Y'all should join if you're interested. Promo aside, Patriot is like a father figure to Yelena. A true father or an adoptive father? Are they both from Sami? What is their history? Why does Patriot look so cool? Is that actually Patriot? Or am I misunderstanding? I don't know. Does he actually have a lung issue going on? Because it looks like he has an oxygen tank, but it could also be fueling his arts, whatever they may be. His speech impediment is also a bit weird. I've seen multiple characters do that. I don't mean weird in terms of it's off-putting, but it's very notable with all of the characters we've met thus far in the anime. So I wonder if that helps allude to his physical condition, because all of the reunion are infected. It is their way of rising up and taking back what is theirs, or getting vengeance, getting justice. So What's his deal? And also the fact they're both a bit warrior focused, warrior based. They're not exactly honorable if we consider what the reunion is doing. But she recognizes how Amiya is a warrior, how Frostleaf is a warrior. Patriot even mentions that they're warriors. So they got a warrior mindset, even if they do dishonorable things like killing people who are begging for mercy. But it's also the battlefield. It's either them or us. And if this place truly was the home for a lot of the wealthiest merchants and individuals from Chernobog who turned tail and fled well before the catastrophe, abandoning their people, abandoning their comrades, and it actually wasn't a calculated move by the Reunion or the corrupt Ursus government or whoever's involved within the Ursus government that is like an inside job or an inside man for them and pulling so many strings at the beck and call of the Reunion or all to benefit the Reunion. It's very graphic to hear what was going on, though. Even with the censorship, because we can't see the bodies, hearing it, seeing the demented nature of Mephisto, seeing how it was brought up with Frost Nova as well, it does hammer home that these characters are villains. Some of them were molded by their environment, molded by their trauma, their tragedy. Others simply chose it. Some of them couldn't help but fall into the grasp of the Reunion. They'd rather follow a fantastical dream that the Union provides than the harsh reality, the non-sugar-coated truth that Rhode Islands would mention. This was brought up back in Season 1. And it's very hard to tell what people will do in grief, in despair, in depression, when fueled by negative emotions. It takes a lot of courage, a lot of strength to be a better person, to rise above the way people are treating you. It's a very easy instinct to go for an eye, to fight back, to clap back and go well beyond what is a appropriate retort, appropriate action or behavior. And it does make sense with how infected are treated in this world and how the treatment varies from place to place. It's more draconian some, and it's more neutral or even well off in other countries, depending on their culture, whether or not there's actual propaganda by the government. Looking at you, Ursus. So, I'm not saying I condone their actions, but I can understand how the situation has gotten to what it is. And with no cure for oropathy, the infected number keeps rising. It doesn't seem like there's going to be a true end. Even if we beat the Reunion, this will happen again until we've cured oropathy. There will be more terrorist organizations and individuals who want to fight the system, fight the world, and kill their oppressors, kill everyone who ever wronged them. Some will take it too far and kill even the innocents, because just like with Alex, Skullshatter, they truly believe there are no innocents in this world. Even though a lot of behavior is sort of taught by your surroundings, by your peers, by your environment, I would argue children are innocent because they can't inherently be evil unless in certain stories, but neither here nor there. Because a lot of it is just taught behavior. But it is what it is. I'm still speechless. I'm blown away. It was pure quality. It was pure cinema. It was Kino. It was peak. It was a masterpiece. Very easily a 9.9, if not a 10 out of 10. I might need to sit on it and rewatch it one or two more times to come to a definitive numerical value, even if I don't typically like assigning them. But I want to stress how much more I enjoyed myself when compared to the premiere. Shit was crazy, y'all. I can't wait to see Tallulah fight, to see Faust fight, to learn more about Mephisto, Faust, Tallulah, W. It seems all of them might actually be in Lungmen, laying siege, attacking, and so on. Will Chief Wei get involved? Can he even fight? He's very tactical. He's very cunning. His nickname is Chief Wei the Cunning or Wei the Cunning. But can he actually fight, or does he just have more people who can do that? Are Allies are dwindling, our enemies are growing, and now we have a war on two fronts. It is no longer a battle on two fronts. It is a full-blown war on two fronts. And the ending song also symbolizes that very well. When we had that whole wide-scale fight between Lungmen and the LGD, it feels like an actual war, not just a small battle. But it goes to show how much power, how influential, how massive the reunion has grown, and how widespread its influence is. I got the Arknights itch, the urge. I want to hop into episode 3, but I need to hold off. Fuck me. I do think we'll head over to my anime list real quick and check out the VA for Patriot, the old timer. So, give me a sec. On a potential last note, I will say it's very interesting, very fascinating to see how all of the reunion leaders treat their individual squads, treat their men. Mephisto treats his like disposable tools, disposable pawns. Faust is really the only one that matters to him. W takes pride in her men, but she also seems to be a lone wolf when she wants to be, not necessarily if she needs to be. Tallulah doesn't seem to care much. They're disposable. She was willing to let the catastrophe attack them. She was protecting herself with her arts back in season 1, and that's it. She's using them as a means to an end. They're not the be-all, end-all. There's not a true sense of camaraderie with them. If they live or if they die, she doesn't care all that much. As long as her goals get accomplished, at least that's the feeling I get. Frost Nova is the enigma right now. She seems to care very, very much about her men. She was even halting her attack because the men were complaining about heat, which, are they particularly sensitive to heat being so far up north, possibly from Sami themselves? Or was it Amiya's attacks that were supercharged with heat and causing way more issues? Maybe they just have a weak heat constitution. I digress. And then they call her sister. So is there a sense of family, a true sense of camaraderie with them? Do they all view each other as family? What is going on with that? I love that detail and how different it gets. It's very, very nice. Patriot, we need to spend more time with, but he cares, or at least seems to care, about Frost Nova as his daughter. He's very interesting, and the design is sick. One of my favorite characters in terms of design alone. I can't wait to see this man in action, to see him wreck enemies, or I guess our allies, our characters, and it'll be painful, but holy shit. I need to see more of Patriot. And then Faust, well, we haven't seen much of Faust. We haven't seen him act on his own much, so I don't even know if he has a true squad, or if he's just an underling of Mephisto. Maybe he isn't actually a leader. Only time will tell. Only time will answer some of those questions. But I would say that's part of the fun of asking so many questions, observing so many details. And I do love we had a true sense of camaraderie between Meteorite and Frostleaf. The whole never do it again, the way she was a bit saddened and very, very determined to make sure she would never let her go, that she wouldn't have a true heroic last and a self-sacrifice moment, that they would protect her, that they would save her. Yo, the feels were there. The animation was there. The hype was there. This was peak Knights. Tried and true peak Knights. No doubt about that. I don't believe I have anything else I want to mention. I might be forgetting. Or I might have just completely overlooked it. Either way, what did y'all think of my reaction, my commentary, the episode itself? No spoilers. Be very careful if you answer my questions. Y'all know the drill. Make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell to notified when I upload next, because YouTube doesn't always do its job. If you want the full version, it'll be over on my Patreon, link down below, amidst my social media platforms. I'd highly recommend joining the Discord, join the Arknights Hive Mind, join the conversations over there, interact with my community. Follow me on all of my platforms, though. Every bit makes a difference. It truly, truly does. And well, this has been AlduicS. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you all in another video. Very likely episode 3 of Arknights Season 2. Perish in Frost, Fuyukomori Kaerimichi, or Touin Kiro. Should I keep mentioning all of the epithets? Not necessarily. But when have I ever done anything that seems truly logical? I wrote 51 pages of notes, 4.5 more in the time between episode 1 and episode 2. I ain't exactly sane. I ain't exactly a casual consumer, even as an anime only, for Arknights. See y'all. Peace out.